Welcome back, viewers. In today's video, we are going to do a detailed review of LXQT Desktop of SpiralLinux. If you remember, I think 2 days back we had installed the LXQT Desktop using the LXQT ISO. So SpiralLinux has a specific ISO for each of the desktops that are available in Debian. So all the major desktops are covered, and they have got a separate ISO with a size around 2 GB for each of the desktops. And there is a builder ISO that we had tried to do the expert install using the Synaptic Package Manager and Terminal and Taskell. So that builder ISO is also there. It is for the experts, but for the general public, you can use the specific desktop ISO to install the desktop of your choice. So this is the login screen of the LXQT desktop. Here you can choose between the default X session, LXQT desktop and open box. So open box session has been added here. So suppose you want to do something light, you don't want the heavy resource usage, or you want to dedicate the resources to some heavy tasks, so then you can log in into the open box, run that task, run that application which uses heavy RAM. So this way what happens is the system performance is maintained, it is good, and you don't lag down or bog down. So this is the advantage, one of the advantage of the window manager like open box. And there is a default X session, and there is this LXQT desktop in between. 3 sessions are available. So we will now log in into the LXQT desktop. Maybe we will do this open box sometime later. So now let us log in, and to this session selection, to the right hand side there is a language selection. So English India and American English both are available. So depending on the local you choose, there will be one more language added by default, depending on your local, to the American English. American English United States is the standard default language of the Debian ISO. Then there is a date and time function. Then there is a power menu, and to the left there is nothing but the name of the desktop, that is Sam standard PC for me. Here is the user. You can also choose other user if you want, but that user should be configured beforehand. So now we are logging into the LXQT desktop. Okay, so we have logged on into the LXQT desktop. You can see the desktop resolution has also perfectly found out the screen resolution and adjusted itself. Now before we go ahead with the LXQT desktop, let me summarize the SpiralLinux features. So first feature I already told you, there are different ISOs available for each of the major desktops available in desktop Debian for the SpiralLinux. So you got the Mate, LXQT, GNOME, KDE, XFC. So all these are available. Plus the SpiralLinux builder ISO is there that we used to do the expert install. Now second is you get the latest hardware support pre-installed from the Debian Backports. So what happens is the firmware's newer and newer firmware updates are pushed to the Backports repo of the Debian, and those newer packages for the firmware are taken and they are included in the SpiralLinux. SpiralLinux also helps to easily upgrade to the Debian testing or the unstable branches of the Debian with just a few clicks. So you can do that through the repo manager, or you can do it from the Synaptic Package Manager also. Optimal Btrfs subvolume layout is there with the Zstd transparent compression and automatic snapshots, bootable via GRUB for the easy rollback. So in my last video where we did the review of KDE desktop, I have shown you the snapper. So the snapper is available. The Btrfs is the default file system with the Zstd transparent compression and automatic snapshots. Next, the graphical manager for Flatpak packages and preconfigured Flatpak theming is there. So the Flatpaks are available. There is a graphical manager. For example, the Synaptic Package Manager is a graphical manager from where you can install the Flatpaks. Font rendering and color theming is pre-configured for the optimal legibility. So the fonts and the theming is done properly so that you can easily visualize what is displayed on the desktop. The proprietary media codecs and non-free Debian standard Debian's package repositories are ready to use. So if you choose the Debian standard ISO, all the non-free and proprietary media codecs and software are not available. You have to install them separately, but in SpiralLinux those are available by default. There is a broad hardware support with a wide array of proprietary firmware pre-installed. So what happens is, in Debian the standard ISO contains only a fixed number of packages. The firmware versions might be older because Debian has a release cycle of 2 years. So all major releases are done with a gap of 2 years. So what happens is the newer software that are released by the hardware vendors may not find support. So the issue is resolved here in SpiralLinux, but what happens is SpiralLinux will pull the latest firmware packages from the backports and it will provide it to you, so you can enjoy SpiralLinux on your latest hardware. There is extensive printer support with relaxed permissions for printer administration. So here the printer support like HPLib is available and you can readily start using it. There are no user privileges or user settings you have to do for using the printer. In standard Debian installation, you have to give the user privileges, certain privileges, to use the all the features of printer. Now the installed SpiralLinux can be easily upgraded to the newer Debian releases. So I have told you how to do that. If you watch my KDE desktop review of SpiralLinux, you will understand how it is done. I have specifically shown you which repos have to be disabled, which repo has to be enabled for the upgrade, and after the upgrade you have to disable this Debian upgrade repo. So that you can check it out in my KDE desktop review. The other feature of SpiralLinux is that any average user can use the desktop without having to use the terminal for doing any administrative work. VirtualBox support has been added as a default. So in Debian you have to either install the VirtualBox or GNOME boxes, but here the VirtualBox is already added by default. The VirtualBox repo is also added by default. The ZRAM swap is enabled by default in SpiralLinux. In Debian you have to enable it separately. So these are all the different features of SpiralLinux or enhancement by SpiralLinux that are available by default. In Debian you can also do all this enhancement to your desktop, but it takes time. Whenever I install my Debian desktop, I require around 1 to 2 hours to do all the settings, all the configurations that are already done in SpiralLinux. So SpiralLinux is very good for a hassle-free productive work you can get from your desktop. So now let us start with the actual LXQT desktop. So LXQT desktop involves a big wide screen. At the bottom there is a panel, simple one panel is there. Here you got the application menu, then there is a file manager. File manager is PCman FM. It is a simple file manager, not very feature rich like the Nautilus or Nemo, but it gets the work done. Then you got, I think this is, let me check what it is. Okay, and then there are two workspaces, small workspaces are there. Okay, this was the Mozilla Firefox. So now let us check out the Mozilla Firefox here. You have seen in KDE desktop also, it was the 91 ESR, that is the extended support version was there. So most probably this is also the extended ESR version only. Yes. So if you want to have the latest like the 101 or 102 version, you will have to go to the Fanatic package manager, then search for the Firefox and install the latest version of the Firefox on the backport channel. So the backport channel is already enabled. So if you just search for Firefox in the Synaptic package manager, it will easily show you the latest Firefox version that is available for install. Then to the right side of the panel there is a show desktop button. So if you click on this, all the windows will be minimized. Then there is a simple volume control. I think there is no, let me check. Okay, so there is no advanced audio control here available on the desktop. Then there is a clipboard manager. Then this is the network manager. Then what is this? Okay, so this is a Bluetooth manager. Then there is a notification area. It shows you that the LXQT power management, no battery has been detected. This is it is not correct notification battery is there, but since we are running in virtual machine, it is not able to detect the battery. Then second is LXQT config monitor. Default monitor settings have been applied. If you want to check the monitor settings, please use the LXQT config monitor. Okay, so not of much consequence. Then there is the calendar. Now let us check out, yes, and here also at the top you can see the language support is there. So just like in KDE desktop, the language support is there, and you can install set system language immediately on the first boot, or you can install additional language packages as you wish. Now let us check out the application menu. So you got the catfish file search. So if we go to the catfish file search, it is a simple search. Let us type Debian. So let us see what it shows. So no files were found because we are searching in the SAM folder, that is the home directory. If you search for the Debian, let us see what happens. So here it will search for the Debian string in all the system folders and show you the results. So it is a simple system wide search. Now let us go and search for more. Okay, so this, I think this is GDisk. Yes, this is GDisk only. So here you can do the formatting of the disk, you can do the partitioning of the disk, you can even benchmark the disk. We will not do it here because this is on virtual machine. If you want to benchmark the disk, better is you use a bare metal installation. Okay. Okay. The calculator from the GNOME desktop is included. Yes. In the last video, we had forgotten to check out this. So this is the firmware application. This is used to do the update from the LVFS, that is the Linux vendor firmware. I will just show you system. So the updates are pushed from the Linux vendors to the users using this LVFS system. So the newer and newer firmwares will come first to this. There is also a testing branch here of the LVFS that is used to test the newer firmwares that are built for the newer hardware, and they are tested. You can take part in the testing by enabling the LVFS testing branch. Now it is detecting and loading the devices. Since this is a virtual machine, maybe it may not show you the firmware. Let us check what happens. Meanwhile, while it is loading the devices, let us go ahead. Then there is the LXQT file archiver. So you can use it to archive your files. Okay. I will go ahead. Then there is a menu editor. So you can edit what applications are shown in the application menu, and what applications can be hidden from the application menu. So these are all preferences you can do here, what to hide, what to show. Okay. There is some warning is invalid desktop files are detected. Yeah. Okay, now let us go ahead. Then there is a mousepad is there. Okay, is a fast text editor for the XFC desktop. It is designed for XFC, but it is included here in the LXQT desktop. Then there is the PCman FM Qt file manager. So it is designed in Qt and used as a default file manager for the LXQT desktop. So it is a simple desktop, simple file manager. Don't expect too much features from it. In the graphics section, you got the document scanner, document viewer, drawing, LX image is there, LibreOffice Draw is there, screenshot is there, and the shotwell is there. So some of these applications are from the GNOME and some of the applications are from XFC, because we are earlier installed the XFC desktop. So some of the applications will not uninstall when we uninstall the desktop because of the common dependencies between the two desktops. So LX image is a simple image viewer. I have shown you earlier in one of my review videos. Then there is Firefox, ESR we already seen, Pidgin Internet Manager is there, Thunderbird. So okay, in this desktop Thunderbird is given there. Then there is also transmission. In Office you have got the fax address book, HPLib. So you can see here the printer has been printer software is already provided by default. If you just enter or connect your printer USB to the system, it will immediately detect the printer. It should be HP, but other company it will not detect, but HP will be detected. All even older 10-year-old HP printers are also detected, and you can easily use your 10-12-year-old HP printer. I got one printer from 2011 that is detectable and works fine with the HPLib printer manager. This is the fax utility. There is also printer utility also is there. Then there is a whole office suite is there. The fax address book is given. In other section you got the language support, the Snapper GUI is there, Snapper GUI that we already discussed. And this is the software. So okay, the software center is given. I think it is in addition to, okay, so this is the GNOME software center. Now let me check whether the, so here in LXQT they are not given the Synaptic package manager, but only the GNOME software center is there. Now we will check whether the Flatpak support is there or not. The Flatpak plugin has already been given as a default. So immediately on the first start, the GNOME store starts searching for the Flatpak metadata from the FlatHub, and once the Flatpak metadata is fetched, it will start showing you the Flatpak applications for install. And then in sound and video you got the Clementine player, pulse audio, volume control is there. So volume control is there here, only the simple volume control is there on the panel, but in application menu you get the pulse audio, volume control, and the VLC media player is also there. Good. In the system tools, the GDB package installer is there, Gparted is there, GNOME software as a root is there, so you can install all the software you want without any privilege issues. Then there is HTOP, so we will check out the HTOP soon. Then there is network tools. So then there is Q terminal drop down is there, task manager is there, and the deconf editor. So task manager is I think from either the GNOME or it is from the KDE desktop that we had installed earlier. So KDE desktop has been removed, so this must be GNOME task manager only. So we will check this out. Let this Flatpak metadata fetch complete. So I think it is still taking some time, so better we go to the system tools and try the HTOP. So since this GNOME software center is working in the background, the HTOP should show more memory usage, around 200 to 300 MB more than the actual desktop usage. Okay, now the application ratings are being downloaded. HTOP should work, but it is still not coming up on the screen. So this firmware is still loading the devices. I think it will not work. This is a virtual machine most probably. So I will close this down, or in the end we will try it once again. Okay, so now we are logged into the GNOME store or the GNOME software center. Now let us check out what updates are available. So if you want to see here, I will show you the software repositories are available from here. So here you can see this. So whenever you want to do the Debian upgrade, you have to select and enable this Debian Stable for upgrades branch, disable this 3, do your upgrade to the new Debian version, and once the update is done, you have to restart, reboot, and then you have to again enable this 3 repos and then disable this repo, and then the system will work as a normal. So it will come back to the normal state. So this is only for the installation of the upgrades. And if you want to go for the Debian testing or the Debian seed, that is the unstable branch, you have to tick on this. So you will be upgraded to the Debian testing or the Debian seed, that is the unstable branch. Okay, now I will show the update preferences. So by default, automatic updates are disabled, and automatic update notifications are also disabled. So you can enable the automatic update notifications. And in the updates, there are 4 updates available right now. That is the OS update. So if you want, you can check the OS updates, what different packages are going to be updated. So these are all the updates that are available. Then in the further updates, you got the Clementine. So Clementine player gets an update, Thunderbird gets a minor update, and the Quantum theme engine gets an update. So I will not do the updates. So what we will do is, now I wanted to show you the Flatpak plugin, but it is not visible here. Okay. So this is a typical GNOME store. I will not go into detail. We have done it many times. So let us just check out the, yes. So here you can see the different codecs are available here. So you can install the AAC plugins. You can install the FFmpeg plugin for GStreamer. So if you want to transcode, you will have to use this. Then the WPE WebKit is there. This is the plugin, GStreamer multimedia plugin for the web applications. Then you got the GStreamer plugins from the Ugly set. Ugly means it is not optimized codec. It will work, but it will not perform the best. So if you want to have a plugin which perform best, you have to install the GStreamer good set of plugins. That is installed, and Ugly is also installed. Then you got the speech recognition tool. So that there is a plugin for the speech recognition tool. You can install this. This is not mandatory. If you are using speech recognition software, you can install this. Then there is a GStreamer plugin for the Qt5. Then there is GStreamer plugin for the GTK3. You can all install all this. There is a GStreamer multimedia for ALSA. So ALSA is the sound architecture that is already installed. So here you can tick on all safely and use them. Then there are some extra additional fonts you can choose from here. My favorite is this Comforta. Hardware, you can use this OpenCL, that is the GPU compute driver. Then there are input sources. So you can use this quick input method for your typing. And there are some other input methods for the Chinese, Japanese, and there is one typing booster. So you can use this for improving your typing speed. And there are some phonetic packages also there, input packages. So you can check them out. In the audio video section, of course, you will get the different players and the media converter and all those things. In the utilities, let us check what is there in the utilities. So whatever you have in the Debian, it will be available. So Debian stable packages plus the packages that are available in the backports, those will be available. So these are a lot of packages are there. So you can check it for yourself when you install SpiralLinux. I will now close this. Okay, so now let us check out the Htop. Why Htop is not working? I am surprised. Okay, now what we will do is, let us check out this network tools. Okay, so network tools, it shows you the IP information, the loopback network interface, the network interface information, the network interface statistics are there. You can do a ping test from here. So you have to just type, say suppose I will ping yahoo.com. So you input this here, enter it, so it will start pinging to the yahoo.com and return you the time it required to do a round trip. So based on the milliseconds it took to do the round trip, you can say whether the network is good or the network is down or the network is slow. So bandwidth, good bandwidth will decrease the millisecond round trip it took, and lower bandwidth will increase the time it took. So it will not work because we got a virtual adapter application tool for your desktop for your usage. So now let us check out the, okay, so this is the task manager. This is from KDE Desktop, not the GNOME. You can see here 1.3 GB of memory has been used. Swap usage is 0%. 203 processes are there, and CPU usage is hovering around 1 to 5%. So that is very good, very light usage of CPU. Memory is little on the high side, but still acceptable. Not that high, but still for the LXQT desktop, this is on the higher side because LXQT is one of the most frugal desktops. Its memory usage is less than KDE desktop, but you see here some packages must be there from the GNOME desktop that are working here because the GNOME desktop has not been uninstalled. So if you had succeeded in doing the GNOME desktop uninstall, then the RAM usage would have come down to just 300 or 400 MB. You can see here this GNOME software itself is using the maximum RAM 413 MB. So it is working in the background. So if you want, we can terminate this app. Next is the LXQT panel. Now it yes, even this open box is also running. So open box is also running. That's why you see multiple desktop, multiple things are running. GNOME keyring is running. So it is all consuming RAM. So if we just go and search and do the termination or killing of the apps from the other desktops, then we can have the actual memory usage by LXQT desktop. In most of the LXQT desktop, that is clean LXQT desktop installation, it is around 400 to 550 MB of RAM usage is there for LXQT desktop. So you see many other different applications are running in background. That's why it is still 887 MB. We have reduced this from 1.3 GB. So almost 400 GBs we have reduced, 450 GBs we have reduced. Okay. So now we will go ahead. Okay, so Synaptic Packaging Manager is there, but it is included in the preferences. So that's good. I prefer Synaptic Package Manager. Then there is GRUB Customizer, which we have seen there in the KDE desktop. Then you got the Bluetooth Manager, the advanced network configuration. Then you have got the LXQT settings is there. The additional drivers are there. So here you can use this to install the additional drivers. That is the software and updates. Then you have got the user and group. This is the user and groups management, the time and date. We have seen the software center. Light DM greeter settings are there. Open box configuration manager. We will check this out in the review we will do for the open box in Endeavor. We will do it sometime later. I will do a separate series for the Windows managers. Then you got the LXQT configuration manager. So here you can do the configuration for the desktop for the appearance. So you can use the GTK2 theme or you can use the Windows theme. Let us apply the Windows theme. So this is how it looks like Windows desktop. Okay, now let us how it looks in the Fusion Qt style. So this is a mix of GTK and Windows. So I will like this, or if you want you can go back to the GTK also. The GTK looks like this. I like Fusion. Let me go back again. I like the Fusion Qt style. And the GTK2 theme is Numix. So there are different themes available: Numix, Raleigh, Redmond. So we can go with the, maybe we can go with Raleigh. Let us see what happens. Okay, so let us apply. Okay, so this is how it looks. We will continue with the Numix only. Numix was looking good. Then there is the icon thing. So right now the icons are Fenza darker. And then we've got the Gnome, Fenza darkest dark, Fenza ambience, smooth modern. Let us apply this. Let's see what happens. Okay. Then you got the LXQT theme. So let us go with the ambience one. Yes, this is I like this much. Then you got the clear looks. It also looks very good. I will go with the ambience one, or you can go with the KDE plasma theme. Okay, I will go with the ambience. I like the ambience much more. Okay, this is the brightness control, date and time, desktop. Let us check out the desktop control. So you can size the icons, size the label text, size the spacing between the item margins. You can select the background, you can set the wallpaper, then you can set the wallpaper slideshow. You can do the advanced setting for the visible shortcuts like home, trash, computer and network. Just apply them, so all this will come. I will remove the trash one. So this is how it will look. You can do the file associations, the keyboard and mouse settings. Local is there, monitor settings are there. Let us check out the monitor settings. So simple monitor settings are there. Then you can do the power management settings from here. You can enable the battery watcher. You can suspend the system with a warning of 30 seconds when the battery level is low. What to do when you close the lid, what to do when when the power key is pressed, what to do when the system is idle for certain amount of time. All these settings you can do it from here. Then you can do the session settings. So basic setting, Windows Manager is open box. So right now I think it is using the open box window manager. There is okay. Then the LXQT models used are desktop, global, okay, notification daemon. Okay, so it is using the open box Windows Manager. Okay, then you got the user directories, so you can set the path for the different personal files from here. You can select which application will start at the startup. You can select the environment, advanced environment variables from here. You can configure the global action, the different key bindings from the global action manager, and the user and groups. You can do it from here. So you can administer your users and groups from here. These are the printer settings. So you can add the different printers from here. The Synaptic Package Manager is there. I have already shown you. I will not show you again. The GRUB customizer also in the KDE desktop review I have shown you. So now I will close this. Most of the things have already been shown to you. Okay, here you can see the HP lib toolbox is there. So if you click on the HP lib toolbox, it is not opening up. It is not opening up, or maybe it will take some time to open up. Meanwhile, we check if something is pending. Okay, let us check out the light DM GTK plus greater settings. There is an issue with my keyboard. Sometimes the keys don't get pressed, though physically they are pressed, but they are all registered in the interrupt manager. So yes, here you can change the appearance of the Gritter. So right now the Gritter theme is same as the theme of the system, that is the new mix. Icons are Papyrus. You can change the icons. So these are the different icons available. You can change the font of the Gritter. You can install additional fonts. Not additional fonts, it is additional font options that you can configure from here. Then you got the background image. So right now it is Zoper. So we can install any of the picture or a JPG file or a PNG file as a background for the Gritter. You can change the background color. You can install any user specified image, and you can choose the user image. So if you got some your passport size photo, you can upload it here and it will be shown on the login screen for the username. So this is how it works. Then there is the configuration for the panel we see at the top of the login screen. So you can specify what of the different all these applications will be shown in the panel or not. So spacer is there, sessions menu, separator, languages menu, separator. So there is a separator in between those different applications. So you can change all this. So you can have a spacer and languages together. You can have sessions and languages together. So you can basically configure all of the panel available or shown on the login screen or the Gritter and the Windows position. So where will be the login window appear? So you can make it appear at any of these given circles. So right now it is at the center circle. And there are some miscellaneous settings for the accessibility. So you can make the keyboard appear. You can make the reader appear at the login screen to enable accessibility to the differentially abled. And timeout, you can specify the timeout until the screen blanks from here. Okay, and you can also have a debugging mode for your Gritter from here. So I think we have covered everything. I will stop the video here. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. So we have completed all the desktops that are available in EndeavorOS Artemis. So this finishes our EndeavorOS Artemis series, and only I think window managers are pending. So I am going to do a window manager series. So maybe for the ArcoLinux or for the EndeavorOS Artemis, either of one I will do. I will show you all the Windows Manager, the different key bindings for each of the Windows Manager. So I already covered the JAWS Window Manager, that is JWM, and ICE Windows Manager and OpenBox. So 3 window managers I already covered in ArcoLinux series. So you can watch that series. The name of the series is called the ArcoLinux Learning Path, where I have covered 7 out of the 8 phases of the ArcoLinux learning path, along with the different desktops and the 3 Windows Manager, that is the JAWS Window Manager, ICE Windows Manager, and the OpenBox. So you can watch that, and please do watch all my videos from the start to the end, because I give a lot of information in the videos. You can just watch my videos and then you can install your system just watching from my windows. You will not require any other help. It is very simple. I keep all my videos very simple. There are no hi-fi graphics involved. Just simple. I show it just how the user will face the screen when he do the work actually on his system. So like that, my approach is very simple and very factual. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.